Hey fellow babies, welcome to the first ever Pach Awards 2023. I haven't done this before. I've been doing this for 17 years. I've only missed 16 opportunities to tell you my favorite in a few categories. Let's get on to them.
This episode of Pachter Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. Right now, Doug DeShazer has beautiful lots available adjacent to Koocanusa Lake in northwest Montana. Pull up your RV and access the hookups, or build your own construction. Either way, you have access to world-class fishing, hunting, boating, swimming, biking, hiking, and the internet. No matter where you're looking to buy, make Doug DeShazer your real estate consultant at 406-291-1643. That's Doug DeShazer at 406-291-1643.
My favorite video game of 2023. Okay, I have to confess, I didn't play very many video games in 2023. I played a lot of mobile. I probably played about 10 console games, and one stood out from all the others, which is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, my favorite. And the way I define my favorite, so I could probably tell you every year what my favorite game has been for the last 20 years, is I seldom finish games. And I'll give you an example. Grand Theft Auto 5, I probably played for 2 weeks. And I probably finished 30 to 50 missions. And then I was like, I'm never going to finish this game. The world's too big. There's too much to do. I suck at driving. But which again, the game is forgiving and you can crash it and everything and still keep going. But I was like, okay, I got it. I get why people like the game. As opposed to Red Dead Redemption, I finished. So because I liked it and it was fun. But this year, Zelda. I finished Zelda, and then I went on a completionist kick. So, my God, what a good game. I don't cheat, but I do read online guides about, what to expect. Because I was, trying to figure out what I should expect as I got closer and closer to fighting Ganondorf. And it was saying, go in there with lots of health and lots of meals and powerful weapons and lots of shields and learn how to parry. So I probably played for a week just taking on whatever moblins and trying to parry. And what I found is, it's funny, I'm really good at blocking. Like, I block all the time. But I get the parry thing like once every 10 times. And maybe that's all you're supposed to get. But I did finally figure that out. And it took me literally probably 2 more weeks to get all my Zonite armor max. So I pretty much all my weapons are like level 60 plus. But then I'm reading about bone weapons that are 140 or I don't even know. I gave up. The entire episode downstairs, below the castle, with all the different enemies I faced, I broke 2 shields, I broke 2 swords, I ate 2, gloom restoring meals, and I ate 2 health restoring meals, and I killed Ganon. And I'm like, this was way too freaking easy. Like, oh my God. And the one thing that killed me, because I didn't know this, you normally see a character and he's got a health bar that big, there's a health bar that big. Ganon's was like 2 rows, it was like, and I still just kicked his ass. So I'm like, this is just so easy. It was so easy. So anyway, after I killed him, I made sure right before I went into him, I placed a travel medallion just in case I didn't make it, because I thought I might lose 60 meals. And so I left the travel medallion there. I backed up to the last save, which is when I put the travel medallion down. Then I went on this mission to find every piece of armor in the game. Anyway, my point is, it's my game of the year because I have played this game. I pretty much started mid-June. I didn't play it for the first month. And I now play like an hour a week, But I was playing like 2 hours a day, and I played 2 hours a day for 200 days, it's 150 days. So I have 300 hours in that game easy. So my game of the year, because there's so much to do, and I'm still not done. My favorite console of 2023, I'm going to answer this the right way, which is I think all the consoles are great for what they do. And obviously, if you play multiplayer games, the PlayStation and Xbox are interchangeable. If you play first-party exclusives, you have to have the first-party console. So what I will say, the differentiator for me was first-party lineup. And for real, Zelda made the Switch the console for me. And not only Zelda, but Pikmin and 2 Mario games, and just like the cadence of their release schedule. And I'd say this is pretty freaking consistent for the last 5 years. They have like 4 real games a year that are Switch exclusives, and another 2 or 3 that are okay, second tier but good games. I really love the Switch, and I have to say it is the most underpowered console I own, and the one I play the most because they keep providing me with content. So my console of the year is the Switch. My games industry person of the year, you're going to have to look this guy up, is Matt Booty. His title, I think, just changed, but he's kind of the head of Microsoft Game Studios. So nominally, he is the guy that all the Microsoft studios report to. And, so he's responsible for Redfall as well as Starfield. So the bad and the good. But the reason that he's my game person of the year is, first, he has managed to help Microsoft absorb acquisitions of Ninja Theory and Obsidian and Bethesda. And when Activision was going through that whole acquisition, drama, I talked to a lot of people at Activision, and everyone was excited to be going to work for Microsoft because Booty has such an amazing reputation as just an all-around good guy. And, at the Game Awards, I talked to Rod Ferguson, who's psyched to be back there, and working with Microsoft. And, Phil was in the circle, so obviously Rod's talking in front of Phil. But the truth is, Booty walked by, and that guy is the right executive for the right time. And I'd say, Shu Yoshida in any other year, and it might have been when he was the head guy, at Sony in charge of all the studios, because he's just an awesome dude too. Sony does a really good job, but Microsoft, I think, is catching up. And I think when you kind of layer in all that Bethesda and Activision content, you layer in that Arcane is making a Blade game, that's really cool. And you can say that's Todd Howard or that's Phil Spencer. It's Matt Booty. Matt Booty's got to shepherd that stuff through and make sure that when you get it as a consumer, you love it. He is the most understated, behind the scenes guy ever. Studio people love him. I love him. So he is my games industry person of the year. And then, my favorite film or TV show. There are so many. I haven't seen the last episode yet because it hasn't been on yet, but I will recommend to you highly a television series called A Murder at the End of the World. It's a miniseries, 7 episodes. I really like it. It's just a taut, well-written, great show. It's on Hulu. It's also on FX. I'll give you my top 3 because there's a lot of great TV on. These are all now too. Season 5 of Fargo on FX is unbelievable. And I gotta say, I've watched every season. Season 1 was really great, and it kind of went downhill. So by the time they got to 4, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't as great. Season 5 is back to greatness. And Fargo is just a ridiculous series. It's about kind of over-the-top murders, but they're all based on true stories. So it's really well done. I highly recommend that one. It's not over yet either. I don't think that thing's over until January. As far as older content that I saw this year, Severance on Apple, amazing. It's 2 or 3 years old. There's a show called Slow Horses on Apple. Season 1 is as good as the best TV I've ever seen. Season 2 was okay. Season 1 was great. So those are probably my top recommendations. Plenty of shows. I mean, people would say White Lotus, whatever. But again, fun, but not as great as some of these other things. So, A Murder at the End of the World. The woman star is Emma Corwin. She's the woman who plays Princess Diana in The Crown. And in this show, she's like a tomboy kind of punk rock girl, tattoos and pink hair. But she's going to solve the murder mystery, and it's really well done. So I highly recommend that. It is a good use of 7 hours of your time. So that's my favorite. Thanks to everybody for tuning in to the first edition ever of the Pach Awards for 2023. Thank you. And appreciate you guys tuning in all year and for all your support all year. Wishing everybody a great holiday. Hope you guys have a prosperous and very peaceful New Year. Just remember, the world's a better place if we are peaceful.